Alright y'all, it's I'm J. Nicole and I'm back for another video. And in this one, we're recapping Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 10, Episode 15, Taste of Your Own Medicine. So, once again, this episode picks up where the last one left off. And they're still at this event at Frost Bistro for Spice. Mita tells them that she's not going to the wedding because it's a conflict of interest. First off, girl, you're not going because you weren't invited. But Spice says that she feel like Mita should have kept this to herself. Ma'am, you invited Mita. You're the one that brought up the fact, oh, Carly, my friend Mita also dated Jock. Like, you don't truly feel this way, Spice. Like, that's literally why she was there, to bring this up. Cut it out. So, the party's kind of wrap it up. It definitely makes some of the girls feel uncomfortable at this point. And Shekinah calls her outside. Of course, in true Shekinah fashion, she's trying to question Mita to see if Mita is actually telling the truth about all this. But to be honest, I think I would have taken the stance of Rashida, which is, I don't want to be involved at all. I don't want to know if you tell the truth. I don't want to know if you're lying. I don't want to have too much information to where I feel obligated to tell somebody and keep a secret from somebody. I would not want to get involved in this mess. But I think Mita tries to say that she didn't know that Jock was in a relationship. And this is when, you know, Spice is like, he was on a show the whole time. So why are you bringing it up now? Like, it pretty much was a pretty known fact that he was with Kendra. And then Mita is kind of speaking in riddles. Like, something about her being the first sapiosexual that he's been with. I don't know if that's coming at Kendra, because Kendra clearly seems like a smart girl. She's a lawyer, I thought. And she says that we're in an open relationship. She says that Kendra's the one in denial. But, ma'am, it looks like you're in denial. She says he's always gonna love me. And it's like, girl, Kendra's the one he chose to be with. He committed himself to, at least in the public eye. So whatever y'all have done or been doing, why has he not showed you off? Why isn't it public information that he's with you? Because you're the side chick, girl. So then Mita also says that boss bitches need love too, and that Jock filled that void for Kendra. And says maybe Kendra is willing to overlook, I guess, Jock's indiscretions for love. What? It's coming off like Jock told Mita that Kendra knows about her. Because everything Mita is saying is kind of like filled with assumptions. Like Kendra's the one playing stupid because she knows I'm on the side and blah, blah, blah. This whole scene just really pissed me off. Like, Mita's definitely acting like she know Kendra. Whatever, man. So that's the end of that. Hate Mita. You could be as professional as you want. You could have everything going for you. And this ain't it. This ain't it. But it's Love and Hip Hop, so. So next we're at Press. And Press looks like it's in an old business building or something. Which I thought it was in a mall. But then she says this is their third location and it's doing well. So, Rashida brings up this messy dinner that she went to. And then she brings up how Carly Red went to this bachelor party. I guess she's like, so you ain't tell me Carly jumped out the cake. But of course, Kirk, being who he is, was like, it won't that bad. I don't know. Kirk was trying to justify Carly being there by saying like, well, he had strippers there and, you know, she was fully dressed. I hope Rashida yoked him up after this scene. Do you hear me? You know damn well this isn't like a stripper. So the fact that you agree with this or don't mind that this happened, I need for Rashida to divorce him for this. Strictly for this. So Rashida says she's out of it. Like, she don't want no parts to do with all this stuff going on with Jock. And Rashida's mom shows up to press. She hugs Kirk, so I guess they're on good terms. And yeah, she brings up Rashida's dad. I guess Rashida's kind of having daddy issues or something. And it sounds like he doesn't really take accountability for what he's done, but he still wants to be in Rashida's life. And I have to admit, I didn't pay this part too much mind. I'm not really interested in the storyline. The only family of Rashida I'm really interested in is her relationship with the children and her relationship with her husband. Oh yeah, and her relationship with her mom when it comes to her husband.
How you like that? Get out of my way, Rashida!
Like, what are you doing? Yo!
Oh, shut up!
I mean, that's
But I wasn't too interested in Rashida's sister being up there that one time, and not really interested in the dad, so probably gonna skip over that. But anywho, next scene we see Jock. Jock meets with Cena. Cena is the mom of Jock's twins that him and Kendra want in the wedding, but they never got Cena to agree to it. So Jock comes over and Cena has gotten thick. Okay? Real thick. It looks good on her actually. But Cena's mad at Kendra, of course. And she was kind of offended by the fact that Kendra reached out to her through Instagram. But I truly do not know why Kendra is reaching out at all. I was so pissed at this scene, and I'm so annoyed with Jock. You need to be a better bridge between Kendra and, like, your kids and their moms. Kendra should not have to reach out to Cena about your children being in your wedding. Like, that seemed like it would be common sense. Why would you even put your fiance in that place? But furthermore, Cena says that she expected a conversation between Jock, her, and her children about him getting married. And I'm like, you know, granted, they pushed the wedding off multiple times, and I guess now that they're finally going through with it, it's kind of last minute. But was the engagement not enough notice? Like, I don't understand why, you know, you need this special sit down or this special notice from him. But I don't have kids, so I don't, you know, maybe that goes over my head. But Cena tells Jock that her and the kids will not be there, that they're going to California to meet her, to be with her mom or to visit her mom. And if I was Jock, I would have just kind of ate that. Like, this is your mistake. Once again, me not having kids, I don't really see the importance of those two being in the wedding, especially because it's such late notice, but it seems to be important to Jock. So he's still trying to get her to, like, change her mind, and maybe I could fly them out there personally after the wedding. And this part right here is just a clear indication that he has too many kids to effectively co-parent. Because how do you not know that two of your kids about to be clean across the country for, you know, whatever amount of time? Like, between his job and his relationship and getting ready for this wedding, he's dropped the ball. So he says he feels like an ass, and he should. So next we get to Yandy, and Yandy is talking about how happy she is to be in Atlanta, and she's describing how well her family's doing. And so Little Mendices is finally living in Atlanta with them full time. And she says her and Infinity are doing much better since the first part of the season, which her and Infinity have a great relationship. If you don't watch B. Simone's new podcast, know for sure. It's really good. And they had Infinity and Yandy up there probably in like episode 5 or 6 or something. And it was really good. Like, it made me cry. It's on YouTube. You should check it out. But Infinity loved Yandy and Yandy loves Infinity. But so Yandy had this skincare line, I think, called Yell, which kudos to her, because I saw I saw it more on Instagram than I ever did on this show. Like, she kind of talks about it briefly on the show, but you could tell that it did not get popular off the show. Like, she did the groundwork. And so they have a brick and mortar, and she says that Yale was doing so good that she bought the restaurant next door. And that's actually where they filmed B. Simone's podcast, was at that restaurant. So I think the restaurant's doing well too now, and I'm not mad at Yandy. Like, a lot of people don't like Yandy, but I think I've always liked her, and I definitely respect the business acumen. Like, I'm a fan. I feel like she means well. I like Yandy. Is Yandy Capricorn? She seems like she might be Capricorn. But anywho, so Yandy is also telling us that her mom has been involved in an accident. And although her mom is still here, it was a very bad accident. She might be immobile for up to a year. And her mom does a whole lot for her. And of course, like any kid, this has been tough on Yandy. So that's where we leave off at with Yandy. So next we see Spice with Mita, and she's packing her bags for New York. And so they're talking about the Grammys and everything, and that's all warm and fuzzy. But let's get to the BS, okay? Mita asked Spice, "Why'd you out me?" So Spice then lies to Mita and us and says that she wouldn't want Kendra to invite someone to dinner with me who has slept with my boyfriend. And I'm like, girl, that's not really the same thing. I'm just confused by that, because it's like, Kendra wasn't at the dinner, and you didn't go straight to Kendra. You went to a group of friends that you and Jock and Kendra share, like a group of y'all friends. You brought this unknown party that only you know into the group to basically reveal to this group that she has been messing around with Jock for this infinite amount of years, which then put everybody in this information. It made everybody privy to this information that Kendra still don't know, and that Jock don't really know that y'all are aware of. Spice, get out of here with this. Like, get out of here with this. And I know it's a show and you're playing your part. I just kind of wish you would have stuck to the music, because you calling everybody messy but yourself. No ma'am. So Spice says that Mita is the one who specified the years that they've been together. And then Mita says she only said that to make it clear to everyone else that she's not the side chick. But that's Mita's problem. Mita thinks that the number of years of that she's been around Jock or dealing with Jock discounts the fact that she's the side chick. Ma'am, you could have been around since 1989. If you and him never had a relationship or a commitment, and then in 2016, he decided to be committed to Kendra, and you still messing with him, you're wrong. Because his commitment is not to you, it's to her. Come on, is it not connecting for you? Like, you act like you're very smart, and it doesn't seem like it. I don't know. It's like Mita, okay, so Mita then says, like, I feel like the side chicks always get, I guess the side chicks get a bad rep for their role, but it's like, girl, we mad at you and him. But the fact that you trying to downplay it is what makes you dead ass wrong. This is when Spice is trying to get her to understand, like, he's been on a show. If you know Jock, you know he's with Kendra, so, you know. And then this one, Mita's like, I don't have cable. Girl, you bullshitting. I can't do it. Like, no. So then she says that Jock was never her man. And it's like, girl, so that makes this thing even more evident that you are the side chick, because you're the one that's outside of his relationship. Like, what part of that don't you understand? And if you truly thought that you and him not being in something meant a damn, like meant anything, then why do you come up here to bring it up? So Spice is telling Mita, like, this information could mess up the wedding. And Mita is like, well, how does this mess up the wedding? I'm not with him right now. Girl, you say you're not with him, but you're literally the one that's coming around days before his wedding, revealing this information to people. You did that. Like, and I don't know if the producers hate Jock. I don't know if Jock hates himself, because he's not innocent in this. But I'm just saying, I don't think that he would purposefully play with his relationship like this. Especially because I think Kendra dropped him like a bad habit a few seasons ago, and he did everything in his power to get her back. So for this to be coming out right before the wedding, it's like, who orchestrated this? Because this is just too good for TV. Like, who you mad at? Who's mad at Jock? Who set this up? Who are the powers that be? Because I don't know who pissed them off, Jock or Kendra, but this ain't looking too good. So after this, Spice goes to New York, and she does some shows or appearances with Shaggy, and that's pretty much it with that. But meanwhile, in Atlanta, of all people, Carly and Cena link up. So at this point, we see flashbacks of Carly and Cena, and Carly is saying that her and Cena have become great friends and blah, blah, blah. Carly, is giving, you really can't get over Jock. Because of why are you so pressed to be like near him or around people who are around him? I don't get it. In fact, I've seen recent pictures of Carly, and I think her face, her new face and stuff, might be her karma for everything she's done on this show. Nonetheless, Carly tells Cena that she thinks that Kendra is threatened by her because Carly's not invited to the wedding. And so then Carly tells Cena that, like, I even invited them to my engagement party. And I was like, huh? Carly's been married? But then I forgot about the fraud nigga, and I forgot what his name was from Texas, and that was short-lived, but I don't know. And so then that's when Cena tells Carly that Kendra reached out to her for the babies to be a part of the wedding. And this is probably the first time that I've ever agreed with Carly. But Carly said exactly what I said, which was Kendra shouldn't have been the one reaching out to Cena. It should have been Jock, period. And so they get on Jock and basically how neither of them thinks that Jock is ready to be married. And Cena says that she still hears stories about Jock. And I'm pretty sure her DMs are filled with fake stories, real stories. But she says she wishes Kendra luck, and I'm truly sad for Kendra. Kendra hasn't really shown us anything that makes me think she's a bad person. She deserves this, and I think she's too good for Jock. I don't know, Jaceel, and I don't know what she sees in him, but I feel bad for her because, you know, it looks like she went along with the wedding, but I don't see how this would feel too great. So they're 10 days away from the wedding, and they're showing us all the wedding plans. So Rika Chappelle is making Kendra's dress. I don't know if his, maybe he's gotten a lot of practice since we last was seeing him a lot. I think he made Candy's wedding dress, and I also used to see him a lot on Braxton Family Values. I think he made a lot of stuff for Tawanda and Trina. So, yeah, whatever. But anywho, they're saying that they're up to $100,000 on this wedding. And it's even more than they anticipated because everything's so last minute. So, the prices of everything is changing, has changed. And I just think it's a bunch of dumb financial decisions. I'm not in their pockets. I'm not trying to count their money. I mean, you know, do what you want, but Kendra seems dead set on having this wedding. And at one point she was like, I just want to get married. I just want to marry you. And for the life of me, I don't know why they wouldn't get married at a courthouse and just plan the wedding or the reception for a later date. And that way, you know, you aren't responsible for all these fees and people who can't make it and all this stuff, because y'all are putting this big, elaborate thing together for people who aren't even happy for you and people who don't even want to see y'all make it as a couple. So I'm hoping that because it was filmed during the show, that they putting on for us and that Love and Hip Hop is really footing the bill. Because if y'all came out of pocket for this stuff, this just wasn't smart. So after this, we're going to skip the part with Rashida getting into it with her dad and skip right along to Ciara and Rennie Rucci, who are on the way to Kendra's bridal shower. And they're conflicted. Ciara is saying that she would want to know if she was Kendra. And her and Rennie agree that they would fight everyone and still get married. Hood logic. And so Jock is getting ready to take a flight, like literally during Kendra's bridal shower. And apparently he's not even going to be back till the morning of the wedding. So we know that leaves room for error. Ciara and Rennie show up to this bridal shower and everybody looks really cute except for them. They're not really in theme. Yandy shows up. Yandy bonds with Rennie over being engaged to someone who's doing time. Incarcerated fiancés or whatever. And then Ciara comes over and steals Rennie. And at this point, you know where we leave off, Ciara is still feeling bad. She says she can't even enjoy herself because she doesn't want to ruin the shower. But it's just hard to have fun knowing what she knows. And yeah, this was the end of this episode. Who do I even like at this point besides maybe Yandy and Rashida? Once again, I don't know. But once again, this is a typical Love and Hip Hop cast where so many people that we don't even get to see everybody from episode to episode. They, you know, y'all know how to go. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this review. I hope y'all excuse my appearance. And if you did like what you see, don't forget to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.